Mr. Freeze, it's an honor to be here standing in front of you, bro, for real.
I can understand why.
Thank you for doing this, man. Thank you for having taking some time in your day to talk to me. Let's get into the shits right off the bat, man.
Okay.
Rocksteady Crew.
Okay.
A lot of people are leaving Rocksteady because of the stuff that Legs has been accused of. What is your thought process behind through all this?
As people pulling out, my stance has always been the Rocksteady Crew is Crazy Legs, Ken Swift, Mr. Freeze, Devious Doze, anyone else that was put in to the crew that, Legs put them in. But that I don't look at them as Rocksteady. I look at them as my friends. They're very nice people and young ladies, and they were great, even better than me at some of the parts of the dances. But that's like saying the Beatles all have children and they're gone but their kids are taking over. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see the real Beatles. The Rocksteady Crew name always lives. Ken Swift, Mr. Freeze, Varsity Freeze, Take One. Those are the people that are Rocksteady Crew. I'll go as far as throwing in Bucky and Kuriaki, Mr. Wiggles, Fable. But after that, it just, no disrespect to the others, I don't look at them as Rocksteady. I look at them as great dancers and great acquaintances, in some cases friends. Let me say this first. I've been asked and approached to do a bunch of interviews, which people usually don't, but because of all the controversy and the allegedness that's going on, they've asked me, and you're the only one that I wanted to do it with because I've watched your videos, and I know you make your own living, you have your own career, so you don't kiss any asses, you don't need a sponsor. You're a straight shooter, as I am, for the people that know, so this is why I'm doing this with you. So I'm glad that we're able to connect, so thank you. All right. I just have to throw that in. Go ahead, let's get with that question. I'm sorry.
I saw Bonita's post, Bonita's response. And did you take a chance to see her response, and did you feel any type of way about it?
I heard what was going on, and of course, knowing Legs, we're not close where we're hanging out every day because, that was back in the 80s. We all have our own lives. I didn't believe any of it. I was disappointed in the whole, they allege that he's done things. And then seeing Bonita, who I got a little close with because she's a wonderful girl. There's nothing you can't do but to love her personality. I believe what she said. She's not going to make things up, and nobody's going to make things up to tell her that's close to her or her family. So I was taken back by the whole thing. Am I bothered that she resigned from Rocksteady? I don't see them as Rocksteady, the Rocksteady that people care about. I take very seriously what has happened and to her friends and family, and I believe her 100%.
From your perspective, not talking about anybody specific and not even talking about the breaking community, as far as harassing with women and the relationship between men and women, how do we proceed moving forward, and how does this affect the overall breaking community?
Well, you made a great point because it's not isolated just with breaking. I mean, of course, I'm extremely bothered, upset. I'm taken back by everything that's going on. But this is something that, it goes out all over the world in auditions, the casting couch. It's just something that happens. It's all on the women. If are they desperate to do things and they'll say yes or they'll put up with it? I'm not saying they're allowing it in the hopes that maybe, they'll get a role in a movie and they don't say anything. The only way to stop some type of a predator like this is you need to call it out right away. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, put out the messages, put out the videos, and if you don't have it and you were approached like that by anybody, you need to come out and say it. Don't let these people get away with it. That's the only way that we're going to put a stop to it. And what's interesting is the hip-hop community, the b-boy community, let me not talk about rappers and DJs and graph artists. The b-boys, we're the rawest element of the culture. I mean, we get down on the concrete, rain, sleet, or snow. We're extremely rough, and we could put a stop to it because we don't tolerate shit like this. We're almost like inmates. An inmate will tolerate a murderer, somebody that's, ate a person, robbed a bank, but they will not tolerate the abusement of women and molestation of children.
What do you think should be the next steps in order to be able to move forward? Because I know that we can't be on a witch hunt for the rest of our lives. Right. At some point, it has to end, and there has to be something that anybody can do in order to redeem themselves to the community. What do you see those steps to be?
There's no redeeming from something like that. Somebody is sending pictures to my daughter of their dicks. Forget about the courts. I'm going after them. There's nothing you could do. You did what you did. Maybe with time, it'll come back. I had no idea that this was going on, and we're speaking about this because of what had the allegations with Legs. I had no idea. So how do we stop it? These fucking guys need to cut the shit. If there's any signs of that, immediately blast them. We have the internet. Blast them on Instagram. Get rid of them. We don't need that shit. I don't let a man look at my wife when I'm walking in the street. Any of my ex-girlfriends that know me, I have a 3-second rule. You look for more than 3 seconds and I'm in your ass. It might be a thug mentality. I don't like it. So can you imagine if somebody's doing that to your daughter, to your mother, to your sister? There's no tolerance for it. I'm not backing anyone on this other than this has happened to you, put it out there. Bonita coming out with that statement is really strong. You know, there's some other girls that came out and wrote things. I don't doubt that it happened to them. But if you've already written it and you crossed out your name, please put your name there so that we could have some type of relevance to what's going on. Because otherwise you're giving any predator a chance to say this is all a lie. They're not proving it. They say they have proof. Prove it. Ladies, you have to speak up. So to me, with Bonita talking, I think, it's a open and shut case. I don't mean as far as legalities. I just mean as far as the judgment of what is happening.
Everybody, one of the reasons that everybody's coming out now is because the Olympics are happening. One, do you think that the Olympics are relevant? And two, how much does that play into what's happening right now?
The great thing about the Olympics happening is that there's going to be opportunities for people to open dance schools, to possibly make a living somehow, some way. With Legs being a part of it, it's going to bring, unfortunately, very bad press, and it could cause a big problem for the whole community because he is alleged in this, this whole thing that's going on. It would not be good for us. And it's a shame because, like I said, the dissection of it, he has lived this lifestyle, whether he has used the culture to do what he does on the side for his own personal thing, it is a completely separate thing. However, the press and the community doesn't look at it that way. It would have to be a disappearance, at least until it's over so that there's not a smeared name on it.